This is Laura Duncan from CSMS. Today we're going to be simplifying radical expressions. A radical is this symbol right here, which we usually call the square root symbol. And when we're finding the square root of something like 9, we're finding what times itself is equal to 9. So the square root of 9 would be equal to 3. Well, when we're looking at the square root of a squared, the square root of a squared would simply be a, because a times a is a squared. A to the fourth, that would be a squared. And if we have the square root of a to the sixth, that would be a to the third power. When we're looking at these examples, all of these are perfect squares. Let's look at some other examples. A to the third power, the square root of a to the third power would be a times the square root of a. A to the fifth power would be a squared times the square root of a. And a to the seventh power is a cubed times the square root of a. You can see that these are not perfect squares. So what is the pattern? If you have an even exponent under the radical, you will simply divide by 2 to find the perfect square. However, when you have an odd exponent, you'll subtract 1 from the exponent to make it even. But then that means that you will be left with the square root of a in your answer because it's not a perfect square. Let's try some examples. Look at a to the 24th power. We're finding the square root of a to the 24th. It's an even number, so to simplify this, it would be a to the 12th. We just take the exponent and divide it by 2. Let's try another one. This is also even, so the square root of a to the 40th is a to the 20th power. And then finally, this would be a to the 60th power. Now let's try some that are not perfect squares. They are odd exponents. So we're trying to find the square root of a to the 31st power. So we're taking 1 away from the 31. That leaves us with 30. So if we were trying to find the square root of a to the 30th power, that would be a to the 15th. But let's not forget that a that we subtracted, that 1 here. That a to the first power cannot be simplified. We're looking for exact answers. So this would be the final answer. Here's another example. It's odd. So basically we're taking 47 and subtracting 1. So what it looks like is we have a to the 46th power times a to the first power. That makes it a little bit easier to deal with. The square root of a to the 46 is a to the 23rd. This other square root of a cannot be simplified. So we will leave it a to the 23rd power times the square root of a. And that's our final answer. Here we're back to another even exponent. We like those because then we can just divide by 2 to get our final answer. Let's make it a little bit more interesting by adding some numbers. When we're finding the square root of numbers, remember we're looking for a number times itself to be equal to 144. That would be 12. Then we want the square root of y squared. Well, since it's even, we divide the exponent by 2 and we end up with y. So final answer is 12y. Looking at number 2, are all of these terms perfect squares, or will we need a radical in the end? Well, the square root of 81 is 9. Now let's look at the square root of a to the 4th power. Since it's even, we divide by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. The square root of b to the 6th power. It is also even, so we divide by 2. That would be b to the 3rd power. C, it has an even exponent. We divide by 2. And this is our final answer. Both 1 and 2 from our examples are perfect squares. Now we're going to get into some examples that are not perfect squares. If we have a number under the radical and we want to find the largest perfect square in that number, you can use your calculator. You can go to the y equals button and do the number 24 divided by x. Then if you push second graph, you can look for the largest perfect square. The largest perfect square in 24 is 4. We know that 4 times 6 is 24. However, if we took the square root of 4, that would give us a solution of 2. But we can't forget about this square root of 6. The square root of 6 cannot be broken down into a smaller square root. So we are going to leave it under the radical. So we have 2 outside the radical. The 6 stays under the radical. Now let's look at the x to the 5th power. Remember, we're going to subtract 1 from the x to the 5th. That one stays under. We would be left then with x to the 4th. The square root of x to the 4th, we simply divide by 2. So that would be x squared. So our final answer is 2x squared times the square root of 6x. All right, let's look at number 4. Are these perfect squares, or will we be left with something under the radical? X squared is a perfect square, so we know we're going to have x outside the radical. However, when we look at y, if we subtract 1 from y to the 3rd power, we'll have 1y underneath the radical. And now we need to find the square root of y squared. We would simply divide by 2, and so we would have xy. Let's go back to that 75. When we're finding the square root of 75, we're looking for an exact answer. So please do not put 75 just in your calculator and take the square root of it. We're actually trying to find an exact answer, not one rounded by your calculator. So let's find out what 75 is divisible by. If we divide 75 by 3, we see that 3 times 25 is equal to 75. And once I find a perfect square, I'm happy. I can find the square root of 25. The square root of 25 is 5. However, we have to leave the 3 under the radical. So 5xy times the square root of 3y is our final answer. Let's look at number 5. Do you see any perfect squares? The perfect squares are the ones with the even exponent. And for the numbers, you'll just have to look at them. Is 162 a perfect square? It's not, so let's address that first. Let's break 162 down into some smaller factors so that perhaps we can find a perfect square. So 162 is even, so it's divisible by 2. 162 is 2 times 81. Well, there's a perfect square right there. 81, the square root of 81 would be 9. So the 9 would go outside of the radical. The 2 is not a perfect square, so it stays inside. Let's address the a. The a is a to the first power. It is not a perfect square, and it's not divisible by 2, so that will stay under the radical. As we said before, b to the 6th is a perfect square. We simply divide the exponent by 2. So we'd be left with b to the 3rd. And then c to the 5th power. It's not a perfect square. However, if we take 1 from the exponent, we will have 1c under the radical. That means we need to now find the square root of c to the 4th. We simply divide by 2, and this will be our final answer. Number 6 is a little bit different. Now we have a number outside of the radical. One of the biggest mistakes is we forget about that number, so don't forget about it. Let me have some work over here. I'm going to remember that 3 by bringing it down to my workspace. Now let's take the numbers. 121, that happens to be a perfect square. The square root of 121 is 11. Now let's look at m to the 4th power. That's a perfect square. We simply divide the exponent by 2, and it would be m squared. Now we are to something that's not a perfect square. N to the 5th power. We're going to subtract 1 from that exponent. So 1n will be left under the radical. Then you're going to find the square root of n to the 4th. We simply divide by 2, and we'd end up with n to the 2nd power. And lastly, we have p to the 7th power. It is not a perfect square, so we'll subtract 1, leaving 1p under the radical. Now find the square root of p to the 6th. That's a perfect square. We'll simply divide the exponent by 2. This is our answer, but it's not completely simplified. We can do more. We would multiply the coefficients. So 3 times 11 would be 33. So our final answer is 33, m to the 2nd, n to the 2nd, times p to the 3rd, times the square root of n times p. Box, cloud, or circle your answer, please. I'll be explaining number 7. If you'd like to pause the video and skip to the end, then you may do that if you want to try it on your own. All right, first of all, don't forget about that -5. Put it over in your workspace. I'm going to work with 72. I'm trying to find the square root of 72. So since it's not a perfect square, I'll start by breaking it down into smaller numbers. So an easy way to do that is divide by 2, or divide by something that's divisible. And hopefully, pretty shortly, you will find a perfect square. 36 is a perfect square. So the square root of 36 is 6. That will go outside of the radical. However, this 2 will stay under the radical. It is not a perfect square. We've dealt with the 72. We have the -5 there. Now let's look at x to the 5th power. It's not a perfect square, so we're going to subtract 1 x to leave under the radical. Now you're going to find the square root of x to the 4th. We divide the exponent by 2 to find the square root and end up with x squared. And then, oh happy day, we have a perfect square here with y to the 4th. So that would be y squared. Now let's simplify and we'll be done. So -5 times 6, we're going to multiply the coefficients. That would be -30. x squared, y squared, and then times the square root of 2x. We're completely simplified, and the lesson is yours.